Hey guys, it's Erin, EW Wellness Solutions, and today we're talking about choices. It's still Mindset Month, and that is the Star Wars theme song you're hearing in the background. So one of my go-to sayings with my kids is, do or do not, there is no try, which is said by Yoda in Empire Strikes Back. You know, it's one of my go-tos up there with Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself by Ice Cube. I know, I'll take inspiration from anywhere. So what does this have to do with you, and what does this have to do with mindset? Good question. Let me turn down Star Wars for a second. So when we have choices, we make them, right? So when I say to my child, did you feed the dog? I meant to. I thought about it. I tried to. No. You did it or you didn't, right? You fed the dog or you didn't feed the dog. So with our choices, it's kind of the same way, right? We're either on board or we're not. That's the first step. But in being on board or not being on board, there's also the mental being on board. There's been a lot of times where I've physically been somewhere and mentally I'm like, I'm not here. I'm not here at all. I know what these people are doing. They're all crazy. Whether it be something to do with the work people or a project that I thought was a good idea that I halfway through thought was awful. Because it felt safer to have a crappy attitude or just pretending everyone else is stupid or whatever I thought, right? When actually, if I tried to make something work and was positive about it and had a good mindset and positive thoughts and was fully invested in the situation, it would have been a lot more pleasant for me. And also, the result, I guarantee you, would have been better. Except for I chose to have a crappy attitude, right? Take your average crappy weather pattern I'm having right now. I live in Connecticut where it refuses to be spring. Every 3 or 4 days it decides to snow. I know it's April. I know daylight savings was a couple weeks ago. I know that we had Easter. It keeps on snowing. I don't know why. It's some weather pattern cycle thing. I know people that are losing their mind. Like absolutely going crazy. I get it. It's infuriating. What are you going to do? Who is there to be mad at? Who are you going to go yell at? The weather people? They're just reporting it. The computer people that build the models? I mean, they could lie to you and say it's sunny outside. It's still snowing. The plow people? Well, do you not want your driveway plowed? Like, who is there to be mad at? I agree. It is annoying. It's April. It's time to, put away your coats. But if you have a crappy attitude, you're really only hurting yourself and people that have the misfortune of living with you. So having a bad attitude impacts her choices. So I'm using a she just as an example, is choosing to make herself miserable because the weather is not bending to your will. You can choose to book a ticket to Florida for the weekend. You can choose to not live in Connecticut where it snows in April. You can choose lots of things. But to choose to have a really horrible attitude about it is only hurting yourself, really, and maybe the weatherman, if you find them, other people. So when we have a choice, even if the choice seems like we don't have a choice, like the weather, in our own head we always have a choice. Are we choosing to make this bad? Are we choosing to make this the worst thing ever? That's a choice. And when we work on our mindset, we see these things as choices. When the plane is delayed, do you throw a fit or do you just decide to make the most of it? For me now, I'm like, I'll write tomorrow's blog. I'll catch up on my email. Oh, look, CNN's on. I probably wouldn't watch it at home and I'll catch up on my news. Well, I used to throw a fit. For real. Again, why? It doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't mean I wouldn't do it. So when we have choices, when we are faced with a do or do not, there is no try, see if you can choose the positive. Not just externally to people around you, but also in your own mind. See what happens. All right, may the force be with you.